Father, the sleeper has awakened!
What's up, YouTube? It's Artisan MC. This is going to be a PMDM about time and attention, in a sense. I just got finished watching Donavan Sharpe do a breakdown on the Fresh&Fit podcast with Red. And it was pretty good. He was breaking down a lot of stuff that I would have been just losing my shit over listening to that damn podcast with that chick up there. Shaming language, all kind of BS and accusations thrown out there, smoke screens and all that shit. A little bit of gaslighting just to avoid the fact that the guy Myra made a video saying that, look, if you took a chick out and you get back and you want to have a little, sex or bedroom time after that, and she doesn't want to do it, she doesn't want to have sex with you, that you're perfectly fine not to get mad, not to get, upset or disrespectful, none of that shit. You just go in the other room, call another chick, get her to come over, and if she's coming over, you ask the chick that's there, to leave. Time to go. Well, the chick Red was making an argument that was in some way insulting and playing mind games with the chick and all this other bullshit. And it's like, no, it's not. Now, these dudes on Fresh&Fit and Donavan Sharpe are obviously content creators, which means that they would have had a conversation with this motherfucker a lot longer than I would have. Because I'm a big fan of voting with your feet. I'm a big fan of voting with your feet. And that voting with your feet means that vagina holds no sway over you like that. Now, I'm an older guy. I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm in my 40s, almost hitting 50. So it doesn't hold that kind of sway over me, right? You can have it, can not have it. It doesn't even really fucking matter that much to me at this point, right? But the audacity of this woman sitting up there, and calling her woman is a loose term just because I think they said she was like 25 or something like that. So the way she was talking, she was a little girl, being that I've just come out of a relationship dealing with somebody talking this fucking goofy. They're little girls in their mind. Says a lot. Says a damn lot to why so many men are finding this fear, finding this space, and needing to have these conversations with other men to learn how to counteract or avoid this kind of bullshit. Because it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. What basically came out of that is that the woman values her body and giving her body to you more than she values your time and money in taking her out. Now, I came up with a little interesting bit of algebra, a little bit of calculus on that, because I thought of it in the sense of me being single now and having the ability to go out and all the rest of that shit, what that actual cost is in dollars and cents, right? What that cost is in dollars and cents. And I thought it would be an interesting exercise for just any brother to do, right? Any brother to do. You think of a chick that you want to go out with, you want to see in a person-to-person basis, just one time. Think about where you're going to go, what you might have, what she might have, how much time is going to be spent. Total all that shit up. You can just take it from your last date that you had, be it yesterday or 2 years ago. Just take that money and add it up, get that dollar amount, and think about how much time it took you to make that shit. Think about that shit. And then think about the fact that some woman feels she's entitled to that shit. And there is no cost for her to get it. And that the simple fact of you saying, I spent all this time, I spent all this money, don't think it's unreasonable to have a little sex afterwards, because at some point it's kind of transactional. And she's like, no. Then you're perfectly within your rights to say, well, okay, well, you should leave, and I'm calling somebody else, and you really need to leave now. I don't see what the hell's wrong with that. Make no bones about it. My recent ex, tried to deal with me in that same way, because she bought the food. And she demanded, had the nerve to demand at times, dick in response to buying some food. No matter how good it was, she expected it. She expected dick. Because she paid for some shit. So, if a single woman, not of my age, not in my age group, have done nothing for me but bought a meal, can expect that, why the fuck shouldn't a man who has to do this all the time for any woman he deals with not be able to expect something from that? Not to understand that his time and his resource is valuable. And why can he not be upset when some woman believes she's entitled to that shit just because she showed up and you got the benefit of her standing next to you for maybe 2 or 3 hours? Get the fuck out of here. I understand this concept very well from being a carpenter. Your sweat equity has a dollar amount on it. High or low. It has an hourly fucking rate. High or low. Now, the time I spend doing my job to make the money I make is motherfucking valuable to me. And I will forego a lot of other shit, probably a lot of other fun, to make sure I make the money that I need to do the things I want to do. And if one of the goddamn things I want to do is take a lady out for a meal, I know how much time it took me to pay for that goddamn meal. I know every dollar. When the check shows up and I grab the motherfucker and pay the bill and pay the tip and all that shit, I know how much time it spent to make that money on that bill, be it high or low. I know that shit. I know how much time it's gonna take me to remake that shit. So anybody thinking that they're just entitled to that shit and it just comes willy-nilly is out of their goddamn mind, because they don't do my fucking job. They don't know what I have to go through to earn that goddamn money. At that point, that's when I think somebody needs to be slapped in the fucking face. That you should just be able to have a chick on standby to say, yep, this motherfucker acting entitled. And they show up and slap the fuck out of her for you. That sounds stupid. Now, if in the course of all that shit, I spend all of this shit, I may want to have sex with you, and you still deem that, well, I don't want to have sex with you. Okay, fine. You don't want to have sex with me. Be the fuck on. You shouldn't feel any kind of way about the fact that you got the benefit of all this time. Let's just say that the fucking date took 5 hours. 5 pay maybe $100, $200 worth of a meal or whatever the fuck he was doing. And now you're like, well, look, I do want to have sex with you. I'm interested in having sex with you tonight. No, I'm not feeling it. Oh, well, that's cool. Well, I ain't feeling you no more either. It's time for you to leave. Because I do want to have sex tonight. And somebody is coming to this house and fucking me. It may not be you. That's all well and good. Fine. Charge it to the game. But somebody gonna be fucking me tonight. If it ain't your ass. Now, the fact that a man says that to a woman is not manipulative. And that's what the chick on the panel, on the Fresh and Fit panel, kept trying to push. She kept trying to push this narrative and put these words in this man's mouth that he didn't say. And to his credit, he went back and played the video, and it wasn't even said that he was trying to be manipulative. Men do not have to be manipulative. Let me just set that shit straight. Men do not have to be manipulative. Men oppose the environment. That's not manipulation. Men are aggressive. You know why? Because they don't have to be manipulative. Manipulation is a tool of the weak to find a way to get what they want when they don't have the strength to just fucking take it. Men don't have to be manipulative. They don't. You're pretty fucking upfront. Pretty upfront. Because you can either give it or not. That's simple. That's not manipulation. And she kept trying to push that shit, and that would have drove me up the goddamn wall because I hate people being incorrect with their goddamn words. Do not put words in my mouth that I didn't say. Do not try that shit. Because when you do that, you're trying to twist and shape the argument to your benefit. That means you can't deal with what's being said. So, in a simple sense, do that exercise. In a simple sense, do that exercise. Add that shit up. Because I've done that same calculus, just explaining to a young brother how having a good time costs. Having a good time fucking costs. And I just did it with him, just saying just how much money you spend with your homeboys just trying to get to a spot to hang out and possibly talk to some woman. Just getting there. It's about a couple $100 investment. I don't know if people live in reality, but folks ain't got that kind of money just to be throwing away all the goddamn time. But men are expected to do it all the time. Just expected. Even after Me Too, they're still just expected to do all this shit. And I just think half the time people out of their goddamn mind. They are. Why? Because you ain't entitled to shit. You entitled to what you work for. If you ain't doing no work for it, you don't fucking deserve it. It's that goddamn simple. It's that simple. So if I go to the story of my ex, she expected to be fucking that night, then she should be feeding me that night. Because I don't make jizz out of nothing. You feed the beast that you want to ride. That's how that shit works. Now, if a man is taking you out and you're obliged to fucking go out with him, take a note from Kevin Samuels. Don't ever go out on a date with a dude that you don't plan on fucking. Plain and simple. Don't ever go out on a date with a guy that you don't see yourself fucking. It's very fucking simple. Because I'll tell you how simple it is. Guys never take out chicks that they don't want to sleep with. Never. You never see some big 400-pounder with a face full of acne and an attitude for sin with Smurfette blue hair and purple nails out at a fine restaurant having something to eat with a handsome dude. No, you don't. And Lizzo don't count. You don't. You know why? Because he ain't thinking about fucking her at all. Not ever, not in a wet dream. So, abide by that shit. That'd work for you too. So, that shit. Add it up. Even if you want to use just what you get paid on your fucking job. Take how much you get paid for an hour in your time and multiply that how long you were on that date and how much you spent on that date. And I'm not saying you paying for pussy in no kind of way, because I know the understanding that whatever you spend before you get it is how much that fucking pussy costs to get. Because that's the calculus on it. That's how much it costs. And that's how you know how I guess, worthy you think it is, if you value vagina that much. But if you don't, add all that shit up. Just for the date. Just for your time. And then tell me that you should not expect a return on that investment. And if you do not get a return on that investment, you shouldn't hire another goddamn broker. So, that's it for me. I just wanted to throw that little bit out there. I'm sure some people's feathers will be ruffled by this. But look, if you bristle at the cold hard truth, then you ain't living in fucking reality. And I don't know what to do with you. I really don't know what to do with you, because I have no choice but to live in reality. And I pay the cost all the time for just being fucking me. Just being me. I have to pay that cost all the time, whether I get something out of it or not. And the only thing I know I have control of is where I choose to spend my money and where I choose not to. All the rest of that shit, I don't waste a lot of time worrying about it, because I know it's not up to me. I control what I can. And my controllables is, maybe I go out with you, maybe I fucking don't. But if I do, probably want to have sex with you. And if you don't want to have sex with me, or you can't see that shit happening, you probably should pass on the date. That'd help us both out. So, that's it. That's my PMDM on that shit. The relationship calculus, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, share, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.
Booty on point, kinda hard to say no. But what you gon' bring to the fucking table?
She got nice face and got nice body. I still can't love her, I still can't trust her. Baby, I'm sorry. When I'm off that Henny, I see double, feel like a zombie. But we still don't ever slip, no moving sloppy. She wanna study all the time, all on my body.